Welcome to episode 11 of Star Wars Culture Live, a fairly new podcast focusing on Star Wars excitement and connection, your escape pod for hyperspace buzz and fandom fixes. As always, I am Ian, next to me is Marty, and this is where the fun begins. Instead of the negativity you often find on the Star Wars side of the internet, we want to talk about the things we love about Star Wars, how it enriches our lives, the community, culture, fans, media, anything at all. So, as always, throughout the show or afterward, if you're watching or listening to us later, if you have anything at all to add or contribute, reactions, questions, requests, disagreements, suggestions for future segments, anything at all, throw them in the comments and we will see what we can do. And don't forget to check us out on all the socials, YouTube, X, we're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of it. And we are now also on audio podcast sources too. So specifically Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and leave us like a question or a comment, we will read it on the air as long as it's, like good. As usual, we're going to start with quick fun facts about each host to help you get to know us a little bit better each episode. So, Marty, fun fact, take it away.
I wouldn't say like a full-blown metalhead, but I love, like metal music. And my two favorite bands that I listen to off and on are Metallica and this band called Blind Guardian. They're from Germany. But both these bands, they're music for the soul to me, believe it or not. I can't get enough of them. I'm exploring more as we speak of just these absurd metal bands. Like Windrose is a dwarven metal band. They're pretty cool. Still trying to figure them out a little bit, but I'm enjoying it. I'm a little bit of a metalhead.
That's awesome. I did not know that. I was telling him I got Miss Rachel stuck in my head before the show, and he was like, I have Metallica stuck in my head, and I was like, that's way better than my thing. I have two fun facts this week. The first one is I got these sweet new Bluetooth headphones, and now I don't have a cord hanging down from my chin connecting to my Xbox controller like a noob. So that's cool. I can hear really well. It just makes my voice sound, they're like noise canceling. If I guess I could change the setting, but they're like noise canceling, and I'm very echoey in my own brain right now. The second one, more Star Wars related, is my brother for Christmas or my birthday got me a copy of this book, Star Wars Bounty Hunters graphic novel. But the cool part that I don't know if I just like didn't register it at the time, is that it's autographed by Charles Soule, and that's like super cool. And I think I got it before I knew about Star Wars comics. Like I got that gift before I really knew the names and who's who of Star Wars comics, and how really cool of a gift that thing is. But that's my fun fact. It is now a more prized possession than it was. And I don't think I'm the kind of person who keeps it like in mint condition or whatever. Like I'm going to take it out and read it. But also, right, where my daughter is almost 2, and we're at the point where we're reading all types of things now. And obviously she still likes pictures a lot, so we're taking out. So that was one of the things I tried. I don't think she got super into it right away, but she can say, I believe it's Bafa. Bafa is how she says that character's name, Boba Fett. Bafa. So that's my other fun fact. So good stuff.
If we're doing doubles, I got another one. This one's going to be
do it
off of yours. My wife, she's amazing. You know how I got the autograph of Brendan Wayne and Lateef from the Mandalorian? Well, my wife found the same auction house. She got me this. It is an authentic autograph of Adam Driver.
Oh, dang!
Stupid light.
Wow. Yeah, no, it's hard.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'll probably post on social medias for everyone to see.
Yeah, that's great. Man,
Yeah, she's awesome.
I did not pay attention to. I often don't pay attention to like actors' names unless they're like big names. And Adam Driver before The Force Awakens like wasn't as big of a name as he is now. And
Right.
the only place I had ever seen him before was the show Girls. So, and I didn't pay attention to like I didn't look anything up before Force Awakens. I was just like let it all hit me at once. And he took he took his helmet off in that movie, and I was like, it's the guy from Girls. Like I didn't expect it at all. It was so funny. And then you find out he's like ex-Marine and like super funny and badass and cool. Yeah. Anyway, that was our little fun fact. So let's move into our HoloNet news. I am gonna go ahead and say that it's another slow week in general. But there is a new Skeleton Crew trailer out. That's kind of the big thing now. And we actually have some stuff to plug here. We have reaction videos up. So right here, you'll see mine. I am usually not that great at seeing trailers like right as they come out. So most of mine are going to be these blind reacts that like our producers and Marty are going to be like, "Did you see this trailer?" I was like, "No, I didn't yet." I was watching either Bluey or Miss Rachel probably most of the hours in the day, and I did not. So there's going to be, I think that's a good role for me to settle into, is these blind reacts of things that I haven't been paying attention.
Yeah.
So that's on there, and then on the shorts. Sorry.
I say on the flip side, yeah, the shorts. Mine is I've already watched the thing, and I'll give you my thoughts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we each have our version of the new stuff there. So mine's under videos, and his is under shorts. So that if you want to see the whole trailer with some oohs and ahs, watch mine first, and then go to Marty's, and he'll break it down for you. Yeah, so there's that. Another big fun piece of news is that Columbia and NASCAR paired up with I guess McDonald's is on here too. But with Disney and Star Wars, and they made they have a Darth Vader car. So you can see here there's Darth Vader on the side, the black and red theme, and Hayden Christensen did like a nice little photo event there, photo op with that is Bubba Wallace. And so that would be cool. I don't really follow NASCAR, but if I was following NASCAR and saw freaking Darth Vader on the side of a car, I know who I'm rooting for.
There's also a trailer out that kind of promotes the car and Bubba Wallace driving it. It's kind of neat. It's like
nice, like a video.
Yeah, it's like a little trailer. Hayden basically just hands him Bubba the helmet. They exchange a few words. Some of it Star Wars reference. It was kind of neat.
Yeah, that's cool. Nice. All right, good. Yeah, check that out. And Star Wars nerds has something to get excited about on NASCAR races now. If they didn't before, I don't know. The next thing, you had another piece that I forgot about.
Yes. Audible randomly dropped this. It is a new audio only. I think it's a book, but it's Audible only, and it's for anyone who is a fan of the High Republic. So, Matthew, I know you are if you're listening or watching. It is called Star Wars: The High Republic, The Seed of Starlight, and it looks like it's about the three kids that are like from Star Wars High Republic Adventures. I haven't caught up really on Phase 3 yet, but when I get to it, I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of neat. A random audio only drop coming November 14th. It's written by George Mann, who's written a few children's books for Star Wars and specifically the High Republic. Children, young adult, I think he's done one as well. Don't
nice.
fact check me, but but yeah, that's I think that's pretty neat. I like collecting audio only stuff. Just it feels like it makes it a little bit extra special. Although I do want the physical book to look at, because my brain will just wander off middle of the story, and then I'm like, wait, what just happened? Got to go back and rewind it. So, but hey, I'm excited for this.
Yeah, that's awesome. Audio only is the most likely way that I would get through a book now. Like I'm not, if I have free time to sit on the couch and read a book, that free time is going to be used for either video games or fantasy football or like TikTok doom scrolling, probably. But with podcasts and audiobooks, yeah, that's the way that that's how I would get that stuff. We have just if you're interested in other news things that have come out this week, we always have the Culture Slate news articles. Yeah, like if you go to cultureslate.com and then up to Star Wars, and then there's the latest Star Wars news section right here, and there's always there's the one about the trailer, and Jude Law has an interview about his role in Skeleton Crew. It's awesome. New Star Wars comic with Kylo Ren, and the Daisy Ridley movie, stuff like that. But it's always there. Culture Slate and Star Wars section. There's other sections too, but Star Wars is the best. So anyway, I think that's probably about it for our news of the day. So we'll move on to our on this day in Star Wars history. Marty, what you got today?
All right, so I'm always amazed about on these days, but this one is a little bit more amazing to me, just because I think it kind of went with last week's. But on this day, November 6th, 2014, the title of the 7th installment in the Star Wars saga is announced to be Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Okay. What the one from last week, what year was it? The same year?
I think it was. I think so. I think it was the same year. I'll have to double check. While we're ranting about it, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I was about to say, because if they announced the if they announced the merger one day and then released the title for the new movie 1 week later, that's pretty insane.
It's 2 years. 2 years.
All right,
difference.
okay. 2 years and a week later they released the first title. That makes more sense. I was about to. Yeah, that would have been pretty insane.
Otherwise, it would have been like Disney knew they had something. They're like, okay, we just bought Disney. Hey, we got a movie already.
How many people are? Yeah, like, and J.J. Abrams is was already like, I got this. I know what we're doing. Cool. Yeah, I remember hearing The Force Awakens and not just it's vague enough that you're like, I don't know, like what that could mean anything. Like with no context. I think it's fine.
They also dropped. This is where they also kind of dropped off the episode title, so it's like not Star Wars Episode 7. It's just Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Oh yeah. As like not part of the official title anymore.
Yeah. So you'll get it during the scroll, the credit, the scroll. Yeah. But the official title doesn't involve Episode 7.
Yeah. And I remember it being super weird when I saw Rogue One, because since it wasn't one of the official 9 movies of the saga, it didn't have the scroll. So it just said like a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and then it goes just like right into the movie. And but yeah, so but I do remember sitting in the theater for when Force Awakens came out, being like, I am seeing Star Wars, a new Star Wars in the theater today. That was crazy times. All right, moving on to my segment, the dad joke of the week. This week. Did you hear about the kidnapping at the Jedi Temple? Master Yoda woke him up. Yeah. He was napping.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that.
It's all about the audio delivery with that one. So you gotta. I might have messed that up. Anyway, getting into the meat of our show this evening. We're gonna go with we like that one thing we did a while back where we did like favorite Clone Wars episodes or story arcs, but we noticed that a lot of them ended up just being based on like favorite moments. So what we decided to do this week was we actually had the segment after this planned first, where it's going to be a discussion about a Mandalorian Showdown. We'll get there, but we decided to keep it on theme, and we're going to do our top 3 moments from the hold on, let me edit that real quick. Our top 3 moments from the Mandoverse. So that is the Mandalorian, obviously, and then Book of Boba Fett, and I will also include Ahsoka. We none of our moments happen to be in Ahsoka, but not to say that there aren't cool moments in Ahsoka, because there are. I think those villains are the most interesting of the ones lately. Some of the most interesting. I like the villains lately. Turns out, Kamir. I'm getting off topic. Marty, keep me on topic. Whatever. Mandoverse, Mandalorian, Boba Fett, and Book of Boba Fett, and Ahsoka. We each picked 3 of our favorite moments from those series, that era, and I'm just gonna launch into it. Let's see who's first. It is me. So, what I have YouTube clips prepped for all of them, and this first one is in season 3, episode 5 of The Mandalorian. The Mandalorians are coming to the Republic. The New Republic is not able to come to Navarro to aid in the pirates attacking that city. And the High Magistrate is doing everything he can do, but he's outgunned there. And the High Republic is not able to help despite the efforts of Carson Teva. And so he appeals to the Mandalorians that he knows exist on that one planet. And so they pop out, and this scene happens. No for copyright reasons, but there's there's a fight going on, and then yeah, boy, it was specifically that moment that I was thinking of when the Mandalorians drop out of the ship altogether. Like, we've been seeing, like, for 2.5 seasons, we saw Mando fighting on his own, and then all of a sudden there's this whole crew, this whole freaking squad of Mandalorians dropping in and doing what they do. And it was so cool to find. Like, we saw it a lot in Clone Wars and maybe Rebels a little bit, or Bad Batch, or whatever. We saw it a lot in the animated series, but this was the first time we saw it like in live action, and how freaking lethal they are.
Yes, the pads right there.
God, yeah. So anyway, that's one of my favorite moments, and then they absolutely wreck in this scene. So yeah, that's my number 3. Marty, any thoughts?
That's a very good number 3. I remember watching it for the first time. I was like, "Holy cow, this is intense!" Like, I was on the edge of my seat watching what all this mayhem and destruction happen, and to actually see a Mandalorians fighting on screen in live action. Because, like you said, we saw a lot of it in the animated series, but for first time live action, this is the way to do it.
Yeah. It was great. And like I said, it was mostly about them all jetpacking in together, but just seeing them all fight and like urban ops work together, do what they've been doing for thousands of years. It was just badass. So that was my number 3. Let's talk about your number 3.
Okay, so my number 3 is during the Book of Boba Fett. This is where we see Boba Fett and later Din Djarin team up.
Boom!
We get this cool sequence of them. Yep, right there. I love it when they land, and it's like that all slow-mo effect. You'll get to it here in just a minute. Just shooting their jetpack stuff. Yeah, these guys are pretty cool together. I want to see more Din and Boba team ups. Like,
And I like Boba as the old grizzled veteran. Like I know what I'm doing. Oh, there he goes with
right
the knee rockets. Yeah, it's like Din is like the heavily armored guy. Boba's like this he's like the dad bod, like I know what I'm doing. I don't need the armor on my legs or whatever. Yeah, I'll cover you. Knee rocket this way, shooting the other way. Like you got the numbers, but we're just way better. So
we got the skills.
Yeah. Oh, and the whistling birds. So
oh yeah.
Yeah.
These
Great
guys
number
are
3.
pretty cool.
Yeah. Sorry, what?
I was gonna say, yeah, these guys are pretty cool. That's why it was my number 3.
Yeah, that's yep. Good call. Good combat choices for our number 3s, I think. All right, number 2 for me. I have a tie for number 2, and they're related, so you'll understand in a minute. But it's one is when Grogu sees the Purgle. This was such a mysterious scene. They're like on a road trip through hyperspace, and then if you've seen Rebels, you recognize that shape instantly of the space whales, the hyperspace whales. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought they were gonna come back at the end of the season. Obviously, that was just a teaser for Ahsoka. God, they're massive.
I want to say Ahsoka's probably in that mouth right there for traveling through hyperspace. If you think about it, because they say season 3 and Ahsoka are at the exact same time.
That was a theory, right? If you look at the if you look at the what is happening? Oh, that was the end of the video. So is that if you like match up the timestamps or something?
I think it was actually confirmed as like Ahsoka is supposed to take place around this time of the Mandalorian.
Okay. So them traveling across the universe here, they have Ahsoka like and her in their mouth.
I think that one's just me personally thinking that's got to make sense. That's why the Purgle is right there in hyperspace, because I was like, okay, Ahsoka is probably in that mouth right now.
And that might, yeah, I mean, that also might be why Grogu, like, the attention is drawn. Like maybe he feels someone that he recognizes.
Right.
Yeah, cool. Related to that, speaking of giant creatures, the other one for me is the moment where Bo-Katan here is rescuing Din from the waters of Mandalore and just stumbles upon a frickin' mythosaur. Another thing I thought was going to come back at the end of the season. But it's all right. We see what was I gonna say? We still have the Mandoverse culmination movie, Mandalorian and Grogu, so we got time. Might happen. And Ahsoka season, you never know. You never know who's gonna come up there. But those are both very cool, like mythical creatures that just came out and blew my mind a little bit, like as I was seeing them for the first time. It was just like, oh, I was texting my brother, like texting some friends, like, oh my god, did you see it? Did you see it yet?
I want to see an actual scale sizing comparison to, a regular human. Like, how big is this mythosaur?
Yeah, yeah. Based on her flashlight thing, it looked pretty huge. It looked like it could just chomp her in half, or like just fit like a T-Rex, like fit her in his mouth. I don't know. The photos of the old, like they're riding them and they're bigger than Rancors, right? Like
I think so, yeah.
I think Boba Fett had a joke in his show about it. He was like, I've ridden bigger, and it was like back in the
yeah, like the holiday special, kind of a joke about that.
That was what he was referencing, right? I think.
Yeah, it was some kind of dragon dinosaur monster creature.
Okay, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I never saw the holiday special. Don't hate me. All right, so that was my number 2, and now we're gonna move on. More Boba Fett combat. Here is Marty's number 2. I might have mentioned this for the listeners. We're just doing we're showing little YouTube clips of the scenes. Obviously for copyright purposes, we can't like play the audio too, but it's just little clips. But for this one is the scene in Mandalorian season 2 where Mando and Boba Fett and Fennec are on the same team and for the first time and fighting together against these stormtroopers.
Yeah. So yeah, I was thinking about going through our top list from the Mandoverse, and this is the first time Boba put his suit back on after getting it from Din Djarin, and first appearance right there, just smacks the guy across the face and shoots him in the stomach. I mean, he's taking him on all by himself. This is the Boba Fett. I feel like, an ad.
This ad is just great. Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, this guy, this is the Boba Fett. I feel like we've been wanting to see in the live action form. We didn't get a whole lot of him in Empire Strikes Back or even Return of the Jedi doing anything. So to see this Boba Fett, a more grizzled veteran Boba Fett, just taking on these stormtroopers all by himself, and first time watching the knee rockets.
Yeah,
Look at
right.
them, they're all just scattering.
Shooting that guy without even looking. Yeah, they and it was funny in this episode. Maybe it was this episode. Maybe it was when I'm sure it wasn't. When we first saw his armor on the screen on Cobb Vanth, you just knew that it was not actually Boba right away. He was much thinner. He was walking like kind of awkwardly. I forgot that he just takes out this thing. With his he takes out the 2 ships with 1 jetpack rocket. Bye. My God. But you could just kind of tell he was like thinner. He was walking awkwardly. He wasn't confident. It was like he was walking like the actor did a great job. Was Timothy Oliphant did a great job of like, hey, I'm wearing this armor, but it is not my armor. And you could kind of tell that. And then by contrast, when what's it called? When Boba shows up here and it pans up to him in his armor, you're like, oh man, that's freaking Boba Fett, dude. He's here. He's with us.
Yeah. I don't know. I imagine this scene probably for me would have been a little bit cooler, and I know it was brought on later if he had his gaffy stick, just taking him out that way. Just goosh, goosh.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't get that till later, did he? Or did he?
No.
He had
timeline,
it.
So in the timeline, yeah, he already had it.
Yeah, but he didn't he just didn't use it in that. He was like, nah, I got this.
Okay.
He like, does somewhere. Right?
He does. I believe he does. But I can't remember episode.
Yeah, I remember him specifically using it to just smash stormtrooper armor. But I don't remember when that was.
I can't remember that.
Interesting. Maybe that clip was like split up or something. I don't know.
Maybe
cut together.
Maybe it was before. Maybe before he put on his armor.
Yeah. Maybe. Need to watch that show again, I guess. All right. So we are now to my number 1, and I am a huge softie. This one, one of the reasons that Mando is my favorite Star Wars character. Mando's my favorite Star Wars character, by the way. And one of the reasons for that is because in 2020/2021-ish, I became a stepdad, and seeing stories about characters who grow to care for children who aren't like their own biological children, that's how you get me. That's like how you like, they're mine now. And this story arc of Mandalorian and Grogu absolutely does it for me. Like, that's exactly why I'm building a cosplay of Din Djarin. It's exactly why this is my favorite Star Wars show. Even though I don't think it's the best Star Wars show, I think it's hands down my favorite. And this moment encapsulates all of that when so they were separated. Like Grogu went with Ahsoka to study with Luke, and then Luke presents him with a choice, like the armor for his body armor, his little chainmail thing to go with the Mandalorian, or a lightsaber to study the Force, to stay there with Luke and study the Force. And we don't know what he chooses until we don't technically know what he chooses until this episode where they're in a chase and she's like, oh, by the way, guess who I have with me? And then they're in the middle of a freaking chase, a battle, and he just loves him so much. It's clear that Grogu's like, this is my dad. And it's so heartwarming. They're both so happy to see each other again. Destiny could not keep them apart. And it's just so sweet. And like, even in the middle of a combat scene, they're like, yeah, we're together again. This is amazing. You got my gift. Yay, I'm glad. And oh wait, yeah, we're gonna fight. All right, cool. Let's handle this. But I'm glad you're here. And that just like melts my heart. It's amazing. It's the I don't know how to explain it. The non-combat side of Star Wars that tugs at my heartstrings like no other show or movie can. They took something I love and made me love it even more through my own feelings somehow. I don't know. It's just so good. So heartwarming to see him just leap into his arms like that.
Yeah, I'll agree. It's like I'm not really a big softy person in a way. I mean, some people might beg to differ, but stuff like this, it just kind of melts my heart. I'm like, oh, like I feel like anytime those two are on the screen, interacting with each other, Grogu and Din, it just makes me happy just to see that father-son type of relationship. It's just sweet.
Yeah,
especially this scene where, I mean, they haven't seen each other, in the timeline at least months, I think it was. I can't remember the timeline.
I would say at least a few months. So because he's been doing, I mean, Grogu's been doing his training. He's obviously made some progress, and Din's been on the. I'm getting my timelines mixed up now. Got to watch this show again too. Oh no, I need to watch my favorite show.
It's about that time for me.
Yeah, it's been a minute. So that's my number one. It's so sweet. Marty, tell me your number one. Oh my god, how do I get out of here? Tell me your number one.
All right, my number one.
Mandoverse moment.
My number one is literally what kicked off the Mandoverse, and that is the introduction, more specifically, of Din Djarin himself. That silhouette of him with that door opening. Everyone gets quiet. You hear him walking in with the spurs, and then
you see this Liberty Mutual ad.
Yeah, and so it just gets quiet, and everybody is just like, hello. Try to intimidate a guy who literally walks in, well, like that. I don't know why you would want to mess with him.
Right? Like, obviously he knows this guy is like this guy. He's like, you spilled my drink. Like, obviously you know things about Mandos. You called him Mando. Obviously you know things about Mandalorians. What are you trying to? What do you think you're gonna accomplish here?
And then just to watch him take these guys out.
Oh yeah. This is Western as hell. Like, I knew from the trailer and from the get-go that this was gonna be a Western, and this is like a classic Western bar brawl scene where there's like one gunslinger that's way better than everybody else. Fastest hands in the West. He's like the most armored hands in the West, and then he does that thing where he gets the guy with the door. Just
cuts him in half. Yeah.
Just
Ooh.
dark, and it's like, hey, this is this is who you're messing with. This is who this is who this show is about. You're about to watch a show about this guy, and I'm like, yes, I'm here.
See, you would think
I'm ready.
You would think this is also set the tone of the show, but as the show progresses, I feel like the tone of it shifts each episode. So you're like, you never know what you're gonna get with this guy.
Yeah, it's like he's doing this, and then like 2 episodes later, he's rescuing one of his bounties. It's crazy.
And you gotta give it up for the pre-Beskar armor too. I mean, it looks pretty damn cool.
It looks pretty cool. I mean, the shiny is the shiny. I like I've seen those memes about like, hey, Din did what all of us do in every video game ever. As soon as we get a big paycheck or a big reward, is you go and buy a bunch of cool armor.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, so that's a good number one is where it all started. That first like where he just appears in the doorway like the Western cowboy. Yeah, so that's our top 3. That was a fun one. I'm glad we went with moments instead of episodes, because I was about to like scroll through episodes. Like, I have episodes I like, but moments are a lot easier to remember and just like, oh yeah, I like this.
Yes.
And some of Marty's combat scenes definitely made my list of things to consider too. I'm glad he picked such awesome ones, so I didn't have to like narrow that down.
Yeah, you did the soft side of it. I'll do the combative side of it.
Yep, I'll do that I'll do that every time. Get those get me with those feels. I'm here for it. That's my thing. So that was our top 3. We're gonna move on now to the discussion part, which this stems from, I think it was a Facebook post or a story or something that I saw. I'll bring it up here. Where is it? No, there it is. For those of you listening, it's basically an image of 4 Mandalorians, with a big versus sign in the middle, and it's Jango Fett and Din Djarin and Bo-Katan and Boba Fett. And the photo of Boba Fett is from the Book of Boba Fett, so I don't know what. Let's say all of these characters like in their prime. And the post was like, what? Like, who do you think would win if all of these Mandos were fighting against each other? That's Jango, Din Djarin, Bo-Katan, or Boba Fett. Jango Fett, Boba Fett, Mando, or Bo-Katan. And I put up a poll about this I put it up on my Instagram story, but then it went away because it's an Instagram story. And I gotta get rid of that. But the poll I put it up on our Twitter, and the Twitter, actually, the vote came in at 35% for Din Djarin, and then 27% for Boba Fett, 20% for Jango, and about 17% for Bo-Katan. The one on my Instagram came in. This is startlingly even. I mean, between 35 and 16% for all 4. But then the one on my Instagram was even more close. It was like they were all in the 20s. It was pretty crazy. So I guess let's start with the Twitter poll. Do you agree with the Twitter poll that Mando would body all these guys?
As much as I love Mando, no. And really, I think it has to do with the experience that he's going up against. Everyone else seems to have a little bit more experience in being a real Mandalorian in some way. If you think about it, especially Bo-Katan, she's full blown, born on Mandalorian. Where you got Jango Fett, who was trained I mean, I guess he was kind of brought up similar to Din Djarin, so they kind of have somewhat there, but Jango Fett's been doing it longer. So he's got that more experience. And Boba Fett, well, I mean, he's learned from Jango Fett, especially the promos for Attack of the Clones. You'd see them together, and they're always in that little fight pose. So, you know, they work together practicing combat skills. So out of all of them, Din Djarin's probably the least experienced. And I think you said it before the show. It's like he's got plot armor. So if anything, people would say him because of that plot armor, especially the Beskar armor. But
yeah,
for me, out of the poll, I chose Jango Fett. I feel like he's the more experienced one. He's a more militarist. That's why they made an army after him.
Yeah,
because
yeah, that's not nothing. Reflexes and combat prowess and just potential there. I have to agree. I do not think Din Djarin would be the one. I can't agree with the Twitter poll. Like I said, yeah, he's got plot armor, but he gets beat by everyone in his series. He's an awesome character, but he gets beat by that monster on Mandalore and has to get rescued. He's constantly getting rescued, dude. He got beat by that weird beast on Mandalore with the robot parts that he was about to get roasted. He got beat by the Mudhorn and had to get rescued by Grogu. He got beat by the whoever it was in season 1 and had to get rescued by the Mando clan. He's constantly getting beat, and he has plot armor, and that's fine. That makes for a great story. But in a real fair fight between these four, I don't think he's coming out. He's not the one. So it comes down to, like, I have seen Jango kill a Jedi on screen in like 4 seconds. He just goes beer, 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 and a Jedi Knight is dead. And so I'm trying to think of anything that I've seen from these people in canon that would match that, and I can't think of anything. Boba Fett has tons of extra stuff written about him, so you could make the case, I think, that because of all of that stuff, like, he has some crazy fights in, I imagine, comics and novels and things. Bo-Katan is a warrior, like a Mandalorian warrior, and like there's something to be said about her being unified in her purpose. If she has a Darksaber, like, that's a different story. That might be it. If she's got her full, and she was raised Mando, she knows how to use the jetpack and everything. Like, maybe Jango is as good as she is, but I don't think Boba is. Definitely don't think Mando is. Mando looked pretty good in Book of Boba Fett, though. He's flying around aiming stuff, but I don't know. She seems the most ingrained into the Mandalorian, like, weapons and religion thing than anyone else here.
Yeah. Because and if you think about it, the first two, Jango and Mando, they were Death Watch version of Mandalore. Bo-Katan was regular Mandalorian before switching over to Death Watch.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, but there's also something to be said for, like, if Boba is in his prime, like, he's younger, he's got his full armor, not this situation. He's got all that experience from all of his adventures bounty hunting. It's possible that he wins. My money is on Jango. And then after that, I think it's 50-50 Bo and Boba. And then Din Djarin's like way down here after that.
Yeah. We'll stick in a few other Mandalorian names in between.
Yeah, and Paz Vizsla. He did beat Paz Vizsla. He did beat him. So that's fair. If the armorer has both of her hammers, she bodies all these people. Just kidding. Yeah, I don't know. That's just where I am not an expert on the expanded universe and all of the Boba Fett adventures that exist within that. I don't know if this is just a canon discussion. There's no rules about this. But I think we both agreed on Django. He is fast. He knows what he's doing with those pistols. He's Boba's daddy. Like,
yeah.
And if it came down to both of them fighting, I think Boba would have enough emotional hang-ups about fighting his dad, and Django would be like, sorry, kid, and then like win the fight. I don't know. That's how I see that going.
Yeah. If you think about it, not only did Django kill one Jedi, he almost took out Obi-Wan Kenobi himself. Can't say that about anybody else.
Nope. That he got much closer than a lot of people did to killing one of the better Jedi Knights of the time.
I guess you could say that Boba Fett almost got Mace Windu, but he had help from his gang and
that was a group effort. I wouldn't
Django hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, like he knew it was a fight. They went in, it was a fair fight, and I want to say he won the fight. Like he got Obi-Wan falling. It's just that Obi-Wan's a Jedi and he was able to save himself. But he won the fight. He beat Obi-Wan on that platform. Obi-Wan was not able to take him in. So he beat Obi-Wan and he shot a Jedi Knight there's nothing that I've seen from any of the others to match that.
Mm-mm.
So there's novels and comics and things, but yeah. Cool. So let us know in the comments if you agree, disagree. What did we miss? What are we not thinking about here for that discussion? I like thinking about those types of things. I might do what if we did like a Jedi version of this, like for the most powerful Jedi we know, but like evenly matched. Nice. I'll think on it. Yeah. But for now, why don't we move on to Marty's biggest category, Star Wars trivia.
All right.
Why don't I take this other photo off? There we go. Star Wars trivia.
Add this to the stage. This one might be a little bit easier. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank God.
I say that, and let's see what happens here. So for anyone listening, watching, feel free to play along. Make sure you keep track of all your answers. They'll be revealed at the end of this trivia.
You can totally put your answers in the comments. Feel free to comment. It's not like a closed door test or anything. Just use the honor system. Tell us how many you got right at the end. And have fun. I'm not good at this. Marty's questions are hard. So if these are actually easier, that might be nice. I haven't gotten 5 out of 5 in like 3 or 4 weeks. So yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
All right. There we go. Question 1. Who was Din Djarin's bounty in the beginning of Chapter 1? Was it A, Grogu, B, the Mithril, C, Fennec Shan, or D, Quinn? I think it said Kin.
1. Yeah. I don't know.
All right. Moving on. Question number 2. During Order 66, Sakura was killed on what planet? Was it A, Felucia, B, Utapau, C, Megiddo, or D, Cato Nemoria?
I want to extend my heartfelt thank you to Star Wars Battlefront 2, the first version. What was that? 2007, 2005?
5,
for providing me with the answer to this question.
Let's see. Question number 3. Chimere, or the Stranger, uses what lightsaber technique during combat? Is it A, Shicho, A, Ataru, C, Trakata, or D. Jarkay?
I was confident, and now I'm not confident. No, stick with my guts. I'm sticking with my gut.
Yeah, there you go. Stick with your gut.
Yeah, just I gotta. Yeah, it's fine.
Like I said, this would be easier. So I don't want you to overthink it.
Yeah, no, I'm not thinking. I'm not overthinking. It's good. We got it.
All right. Question number 4. R4 P17 was assigned to which Jedi during the Clone Wars? Was it A. Eth Koth, B. Obi-Wan Kenobi, C. Plo Koon, or D. Mace Windu?
Pretty sure I'm at least 3 for 4 because I know this one. I think I know this one. Unless there's a strong distractor answer in there.
No, it's supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be easy today.
Okay.
And our last question is a Legends question. I think I'm going to make every question, the last one, a Legends question. But number 5 is Darth Revan discovered his mask on what planet? Was it A. Mandalore, B. Ricade, yeah, C. Onderon, or D. Cathar?
Absolutely no idea. So gonna have to do a random guess. I'll be real. My random guess is B. Recade. That's my random guess. Let's see how that went.
All right. The answers are 1 was B, the Mithril. 2 was A, Felucia. 3 was C, Tricata. 4 was B, Obi-Wan Kenobi. And 5 was C. Sorry, it was actually D. I don't know why C was there. 5 was D, Cathar.
You get credit if you answered C. Just kidding.
Partial credit.
You know, all the credit for the points that don't matter. I was 4 for 4 up until the Cathar. I don't know much. I know who Darth Revan is, obviously, but I don't know much about his adventures. I know everyone wants Keanu Reeves to be the one who plays him. So
yeah,
I wouldn't mind that being a thing.
I mean, we had Mark Hamill voice Darth Bane in the Clone Wars. Why not have Keanu do Darth Revan?
We did?
Yep. In
I didn't know that.
season 6 of the Clone Wars, it's that Yoda arc where Yoda goes to Moraban. He meets the ghost of Darth Bane.
That season, I'm not gonna lie, I watched that little Yoda arc once, and I was like, I'm probably never gonna watch this again. It's like Clone Wars was just so good the rest of the time, and this was like just super weird. It gave Legends vibes, which is fun for like novels and stuff. Sometimes I'm like, this is.
I feel like they focused on the wrong episodes for season 6 to be what they released versus what became the novels, such as Dark Disciple with Asajj Ventress.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I would watch more of Asajj Ventress and her journey. Like, I can't decide if I want more. I can't decide which I want more. Like her journey between. You're caught up on Bad Batch, right? Spoilers for the end of the Bad Batch. Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm caught up.
So that was your spoiler warning. I'm going to talk about the end of the Bad Batch now. I think what I would want to see was her journey from between the end of the Clone Wars to where she appears at the end of the Bad Batch. I feel like I want to see those stories.
Have you read Dark Disciple?
Her hair growth. I have not read Dark Disciple. Does that describe that?
There's it'll make you want to question and find out more. Something happens to Asajj Ventress that I will not spoil because it is a good book. I will say it's a good book.
Yeah, no, don't spoil it. Yeah, I should get that. Should find the audiobook version of that.
There you
go. Does it explain how she grew hair? Because I'm very interested. I want to learn this power.
Yeah, no.
I want to learn this power. The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities. It's not.
Yeah, unfortunately, it does not explain how she grew hair, but something happens, and you're like, how did she end up in Bad Batch after what this book did to her?
Okay, that's good.
Enough
is
said.
Dark Disciple canon? Is it a canon novel?
Yep. It's a canon novel. It released literally around the same time as season 6, if not a little after.
Dark Disciple, huh?
Yep. It's Asajj Ventress and what's his face with the dreadlocks. His name escapes me.
Quinlan Voss.
Yeah, Quinlan Voss. It's those two together.
He was the weirdest hippie Jedi in that episode. I was like, what? What is this dude? Like, this dude was clearly like not on good terms with the council at all. He was like, you're not my real dad.
Yeah. By the way, they sent him far away.
Yeah. Yeah, that was funny. All right, so that's trivia, and that is our show. So I hope that you enjoyed this show, and I hope that you enjoy what we're doing here. We know more than anyone that Star Wars fandom and comment sections can sometimes get dark and toxic on the internet, but it doesn't have to be that way. We are trying to bring fun and positivity to the Star Wars side of the internet. Remember, there are more of us. Again, if you ever have anything for us, questions, requests, suggestions for segments, anything at all, throw them in the comments and we'll see what we can do. All right, I'm going to plug a couple things. First, cultureslate.com. Tons of articles, videos, all kinds of stuff about all the nerdy things you love. Not just Star Wars. There's Marvel, there's Star Trek, there's movies and TV in general, anything you want. But specifically for us, Star Wars culture. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all those things. And this podcast can be found on Facebook and YouTube, and audio on Spotify and Apple Podcast. And then also our own personal pages. I am Nerdiest Stepdad. I'm on the biggest is on Instagram and TikTok, but you can also find Nerdiest Stepdad on Facebook and Twitter and Threads and X and all those things. I'm not amazingly active on all of them, but they're there. And Marty Ingleston just got a TikTok. You can find this handle right here on Instagram, but he's also on TikTok and Twitter and Facebook. And you are determined enough, you can find it.
Yeah, my TikTok handle is the same one as Instagram, so right here. So you find that, you find me. I do Yoda impressions. I got 4 videos up though right now. I'm still trying to figure out what the best comments are.
Yeah,
like best quotes. Yeah.
Good. If I can make a recommendation, around the survivors, a perimeter create. That is the best Yoda quote that exists of all time. I will not take any questions.
I can do it right now if you want.
Dude, no, do it on your TikTok. Put it on your TikTok. Get the most views. Go to Marty's TikTok and do that line.
Yeah, I'll do that. Right. I'll do that tomorrow.
Yes, do it. Do it. I don't do impressions. Anyway, that's our show. Hope you have a good time. We will see you. Hope you had a good time. We will see you next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. May the Force.